Hey everybody, today we're gonna tear into this Samsung electric dryer, whether it be for maintenance, cleaning out purposes, obviously replacing components that need to be replaced. Let's get to it. We're starting off with the back panel. We have several Phillips screws. Start removing. There we go, keep going. So we got 5 of them up above. Sorry, correction, 4 of them. 4 of them up above that need to be removed. Followed by 2 here. All right, now we go ahead and basically lift and just pull this out, just like that. All right, next up, we need to remove our console, AKA control panel. Just disconnect it. It's got one of these pinch connections, just like that. Stick it to the side. Followed by our control board. We've got 1 screw here. And this holds this whole clamshell in place. Okay, just lift. There we go, just like that. Now we flip it and we have several connections. These are all pinch connections. Pinch, lift, and pinch and lift. Oop. Might be a little tricky, especially if you have bigger hands. There we go. Got several of them. And when you're reassembling, don't worry about it because they only fit into one slot. There we go. Keep working yourself through the control board. Now we have our relay connections here. Just lift up out of the way. And if it's never been taken apart, it's a little bit difficult. They grab on pretty tight. There we go. Now work the wiring harness out of here. Stick this thing to the side. All right, up next, we have a grounding wire with a Phillips screw. Okay. We've got this holder here for the wiring harness. Now this right here needs to be removed. And in doing so, you need to basically slide to the side and get yourself a standard screwdriver and just kind of try to pry it out of there. Just kind of to the side and then lift up out of there. Remove the screw. Here's another one, remove it. Now there are 2 ways of lifting the whole top off. You can simply lift up and out of the way. There are 2 clips here that hold the front down, but I found out that by lifting the backside completely up, it releases these clips right here. So no worries. Let's stick this out of the way. All right, now moving to the front of the dryer, grab yourself that Phillips screwdriver again, and we're gonna work around, open the door, and we have 3 screws that need to be removed to remove this whole front assembly. 1, 2, and your 3rd one here on the right. We also have some screws at top to remove this whole front assembly. Okay. Here we go. We got 1, 2, and 3. So here's the tricky part. If this dryer has never been taken apart, these hold it in place. You might want to lift and kind of roll this, lift up and roll it. And you also have a connection here to your door switch. Just pull that straight out. Okay, now this simply just lifts up out of the way, stick it to the side. All right, there we go. Okay, moving forward, grab yourself that Phillips screwdriver again. This right here, you just basically twist and put that to the side. And you also have another connection here for your moisture bar. You have a moisture bar in here that detects all the moisture. You simply pinch and lift, just like that. Now you have 4 screws that need to be removed here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now moving on to the blower housing cover. Let's remove this guy right here. To remove the blower housing cover, we've got 1. We're gonna tear this thing completely apart so you can see what makes it work, what makes it tick, and all that good stuff. All right, here we go. Now you basically bring this forward and down. Here's your lint trap, and it's a very important idea to take this thing apart like maybe at least once every year or every 2 years to completely clean it out, because they get a lot of lint buildup, which is a fire hazard, very dangerous situation. Now to remove this assembly here, you just basically lift up and out, just like that. And you turn it around and you're gonna see that you have 2 rollers. Let me show you guys how to remove those rollers as well. This is a very common failure item on just about every single dryer. So you're gonna grab yourselves a small standard screwdriver, come through, get into that slot, and just lift this retaining clip out of the way and lift your roller out. All right, cool. There are your rollers. And that is definitely, like I said, a maintenance item on these particular dryers and most dryers in general. Okay, now here's the tricky part. I'm gonna lay on my side. Hopefully I could get good video in here. So we're gonna remove the drum. So we have to remove the belt. To do so, you bring this tensioner to the left and move that belt out of there, just like that. Okay, now grab yourself the belt, lift up, and pull your drum out. There we go. Drum is out just like that, along with your belt. Okay, let's move forward. Next up, let's go ahead and remove, which I'm telling you, this is a very common maintenance item on just about every single dryer, is gonna be your tensioner, your pulley. To remove so, you get a Phillips screwdriver and get up in there, remove this screw. By the way, here's your trip switch right here. If the belt does snap, the whole dryer shuts off for safety. And here's your spring, and here's your tensioner pulley. Very common maintenance failure item that needs to be repaired every now and then. And here is your tensioner spring. Let's remove that for right now. And the screw. Okay, so here is your blower and your motor. Let's disconnect the connections running to it. This is also one of those pinch connections. It's got one at the bottom and one at top. Remove that. And here we have our thermal cutoff fuse at the blower housing and the thermistor. These two are also a failure item on most dryers that need to be replaced every now and then. So let's go ahead and remove those as well. Here's your thermal cutoff with a Phillips screw at bottom. Just like that. Comes right out. And your thermistor monitors the dryness of the clothing. And when these go bad, the dryers kind of whack out. Remove that just with a Phillips screw. Okay, here we go. And here's your trip switch for the dryer belt. This also comes right out. It can be a little hard, just pull it right out, just like that. Twist this, remove. You know what, let's go ahead and remove the motor as well. The motor with the blower and the whole housing completely together. We've got 2 Phillips screws back over here. Remove them. These motors do fail on most dryers after a while as well. Not much to it. It's 4 screws total. 3. And 4, just like that. Now that will allow the motor to come up out of here. You just kind of lift and disconnect the exhaust tube and slide this. It can be a little tricky. Slide it to your right. Now the whole motor is released with the blower housing and the blower. Stick it to the side. Okay, now moving forward, here we have our heating element and we have the connections running to it. Here are your operating thermostats, thermal cutoff, all that good stuff. Your cycling thermostat, unplug those. Your leads running to your actual heating element. You might need to grab a standard screwdriver and just kind of use that to pry. Pretty tight connections sometimes. Just like that. Okay, to release the heating element, you have a screw here. Oop, there we go. You have a screw here. And one here at the top. This is also a very common failure item on most dryers. To remove, you just simply lift and pull out, just like that. Super easy. All right, you know what? Let's get into this clamshell and I'll show you guys how to get access to the heating element. So you've got 2 screws holding down this thermostat. Okay. Secondary thermostat. Remove the 2 screws, Phillips. All right, just like that. And now you have 7 screws holding this whole clamshell together, and inside is our heating element. 1, 2. That one's loose, is hanging out right there. All right, here we go. Go along removing all the Phillips screws. Might take a little bit. Here we go. And now simply this comes apart just like that. You do have these here, but it will come apart. Sometimes it's best to kind of straighten those out. There we go, just like that. Now we have access to the heating element, which is a very common failure, like I said, on most dryers. This one does not have much life left to it. You can see that crack at the rack already. Time for replacement. Okay, stick it to the side. Okay, now on the back side here, we do have 2 rollers. And let's remove those. Standard screwdriver, lift, and just pull this one out. Pull this plastic piece out, the retaining clip, just like that. Secondary one. And some models have 3 of them on the back side because they are XL models. This one in particular just has 2. Why don't we go ahead and also remove the bulkhead of the dryer. That's this assembly right here. Because every now and then you need to gain access to these studs, and it's a little bit difficult when the bulkhead is in place. We'll come around the back side, and we have 4 screws holding the bulkhead together. 1, 2, and 3. 4. Okay, we also have these 2 here at the top. Oh, I almost forgot. We have 1 more here at center towards the bottom. Just like that. So don't forget that screw. Okay, now come around. Just like that. Here's your bulkhead. Now we have access to these nuts at the backside to replace the studs if needed. All right, there we go. All right, why don't we remove the wiring harness? Not much left to remove the wiring harness. Got it here. These basically twist and lift. Just like that. We do also have a grounding wire holding the wiring harness in place. Okay. We'll go around twisting these and releasing the wiring harness. Twist and release. Just like that, nice and easy. All right, almost there, folks, almost there. And just like that, here's your diagnostics port that pulled out. Just like that, other than your block right here, other than your block, the wiring harness is mostly removed already. Last thing we could do also is remove the exhaust tube venting in case it needs to be replaced. That would come around and there is one screw holding the exhaust tube in place, just one screw. That simply pulls right out. Just like that. And there it is, folks. Samsung dryer completely disassembled.